I'm a self-appointed LEGO designer, and in this video, I redesigned two very iconic Minecraft mobs to be very not-iconic abominations. Let's begin designing. After giving it some thought, I decided that I was going to redesign the Minecraft Enderman and a villager farmer. Luckily for me, Minecraft is a bunch of blocks, and so is LEGO, so redesigning mobs from the game Minecraft is fairly simple and straightforward. You just have to look at a picture, and it's pretty easy. But the redesigning part, that's a different story. So I got out my yellow bricks to start on the hat, pulled up a reference image of a farmer villager, and got to building. That I had finished the head, and it just so turns out that there's a little bit of a darker colored line underneath the nose on a farmer, and there's actually a darker line that I accidentally made on my villager. But I still have the whole body to do, so let's get back to work. I got a bunch of my brown bricks out and started to build the body, and at first I used some round 1x1 bricks, but I decided to use dark brown just because it makes more contrast. And then I put some stuff down the center just to make it all sturdy, and with that I had basically the boxy shape out, but I still needed to add the arms, so I put some Technic pins in, got some Technic pin holder pieces, I have no idea what they're called, and built out the arms. My first variation had these studs showing from the inside. Basically, Lego on the underside looks really gappy and holy because it's the underside and studs need to fit, but I had to turn it around and put some smooth tiles on the front so it looked a lot better, and then I also added a 1x1 little stud tile, and with that I had finished it. But it was time to build the Enderman, so I got to work. I started by adding some really long legs with 1x1 black bricks, and then I added a small torso with little Technic pin holder things, the same pieces I used on the villager, and I still don't know what they're called. I think they're like Technic beams or whatever, but I added a head which is just a little bigger, and the eyes were not looking good, so disregard the eyes at this point. I rebuilt them, but I could not get them at first. Then I added the arms with some Technic pins, basically the same thing as the villager, just with long skinny arms, and it was time to build the brick, or the block, and I decided to choose a grass block for him to hold, just because it was iconic, I guess, and so I built that, and put some flat tiles in green on the top, and with that finished, it was time to build the, I also built little bases for them, just to make it look cool, because, aesthetic. But with that done, it was time to redesign these mobs. I had designed them, well actually I had Minecraft designed them, but I started by shortening the legs on the Enderman, and I decided that with its short legs, it also kind of needed that chibi look. I have no idea, so I made the eyes really, really big, and it looks kind of funny, but I'm honestly kind of happy with the look. And then I decided I wanted to redesign the block, because if we're redesigning it, it can't just hold a normal Minecraft block. So I started, and I had this really genius idea. It's called Among Us. Yeah, that's pretty sus. Anyways, that really did not work out, and I'm really glad it didn't work out. But I went with a potato design, so I put some little studs on the bottom with holes in them, so I could put some white roots in it. I put this piece on the top, and yeah, it took me like 10 tries. But I got the right piece eventually, and put a little sprout on it. And then I took more pieces off because I'm indecisive, alright? I flattened it out, put the potato back on, and I had to take some pieces off the bases that I put them on just because I don't have very many tiles in green. But I had finished the block, and it was time to build the Enderman. I started putting a crown on it, but that didn't look right at all. So I decided to, I might have given it ears. We're just gonna ignore my imagination here. It kind of looks like a bat, but it's kind of cute, actually. Maybe. I don't know if this is considered cute or extremely frightening, but either way, I redesigned it, and that is the goal of the video, so you can't complain. Oh, and my sister also designed something completely randomly. This is the Ender Frog. I have no words. Just, yeah. Anyways, it was time to redesign the farmer villager, and he's gonna stare into your soul, and don't look at it too close, because if you do, he kind of looks like a cyclops. Anyways, I decided to give it some hair. I started giving it a mohawk, but that didn't work, and then I gave it Kim Jong-un hair. I honestly don't know. I tried this black hair on either side for quite a while. I have no idea why, because it didn't look good anytime I tried it. I also lengthened the nose, so it's now 3 studs long instead of 2 studs long. And I did maybe take the arms off, but ignore that. I also put the hat on the back because of the hair, and then I put the arms back on, but then I took them back off again, because this is a buff villager, alright? Farmers are strong. He needs muscles. So I went through the process of giving this farmer muscles. He's also in the flexing position, because if you have muscles, you gotta flex, right? I redesigned the arms yet again, because the first variation was really jagged on the underside, and I didn't want him to look like a bat. So, yeah, I fixed the arms, and then I gave it some hands, and that was really cool. And then I put it back on its base, and then I took the hair off again, because the hair was never working out. And so I put the hair on again, and it didn't work at all. So I just kind of gave up on the hair for now. And then I tried to build a red sus Among Us to put on his jacket, or tunic, or whatever you call it. And thankfully, yet again, my Among Us designing ability did not work out. So I went back to the hair yet again, and this time I tried black hair again. It took me like 20 tries to realize that black hair was not the answer. So then I tried to bake a mohawk with 3 hair. I don't even know. This is embarrassing. But thankfully I gave that up, and it was time to make him an umbrella hat, which is so much better than black hair, am I right? But anyways, I gave it like some gray ring around the head because I wanted it to look like a cap, but that wasn't working, and it took me like a couple times to realize that that wasn't working. And then I just put the umbrella on his head, because why not? He can just have it sitting on his head if he wants to. But finally, I wrapped up the final details. I put a bird on top of the umbrella. I put a butterfly on his little button on his tunic. But with that, I had redesigned the Enderman and the farmer. I don't know if I'll call it successful, but the goal was to redesign them, and that's what we did. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. It's so easy. It takes 2 seconds. It's free, and it really helps me out a ton. I'll see you in the next video.